Do you want to become a consistent rank 1 player in FIFA 22? Beautiful people, what's happening? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you have not hit the notifications, rang the doorbell, considered subscribing, it would be high-key appreciated. You see the title of the video. I've got 10 traits, characteristics, gameplay inclusion, breakdown, however you'd like to word it. It's coming in hot fire to get you to rank 1. Deliver the goods. And comment below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And if you want more focus around Foot Champs, Weekend League, improvements, tutorials, you name it, if you could like this video, high-key appreciate it. It also tells me to focus more time on content like this. Information with entertainment. Speaking of group coaching, lesson plans, not just myself, but pro players, content creators, ways to become the best FIFA player. And I do my session every single Monday. Gamers Academy, link down below. Let me give you a glimpse. We're gonna start now. Starter package, and it's free to try this out. You get gameplay analysis, live group coaching, the FIFA 22 skill book, masterclass, and a 24/7 Discord. You can try that for free. Afterward, it's $20 a month. And the packages move up, but you're not getting a better deal in terms of sitting down with experts and players that their main focus is to get you better, to give you the ins and the outs and the intricacies with a personalized touch. Bam! This is good money. If you want more, you've got the pro package or even the legend facilitation, God tier. Now let me give you some free content. This is linked in the description. If you have questions, fire away. Squad building meta. I'm not gonna front for the camera. The type of team, that collective, whether it's cheap or expensive, the players need to fit the system, the way that you wish to perform, to express yourself, the formation that you're playing. One of the largest mistakes, or most common mistakes I've noticed between FIFA players, especially if we're going through the ranks, the personnel selection, the super subs, the game plan, it's not all the way there. And this is why I say squad building meta, and it's not just about price point or rating. More so players that are going to succeed, we know that they are qualified, center backs that have that big body, they got the pace, fullbacks that can overlap, midfielders that are disruptive, wingers that open up that body and hit the finesse with ease, strikers that convert 1v1s like it's going out of style. Patience. You might not want to hear this. Whether it's defensive, offensive, somewhere in the mix in between. FIFA 22 is a slower paced game in general compared to previous installments and previous titles, which means you're going to have to wait your turn to a certain degree. You can't go all out attack or all out defensive pressure everywhere and expect to win on a consistent basis. Again, if we're looking at this from a general perspective. And if you're struggling with patience, watch your gameplay back. You might not even notice that you're rushing. Take breaks, call a friend, phone home, talk to a live chat, join a Discord group, slow it down, probably not speed it up. Talk to yourself. I do a lot of that. Limiting major mistakes. Rank 1 players, they're still gonna make plenty of errors, but they're minor errors. You're not gonna have passing out of the back, goal kick throwaways, not focused on kickoffs, diving in for challenges, rushing their gameplay, mistimed offside traps. I can go on and on with what I would consider a major mistake. And it's not that you're never going to make these if you're a rank 1 player. But if we're looking for consistency, you cannot have mistakes that have been elevated or that are on a larger scale on repeat. You're going to lose games. You're giving up goals. Composure. You knew this was coming. It's a big C word that's important. And I've actually broken it down into a few different categories. Of course, handling situations with pressure or of pressure deals with composure. But I feel if you want to improve these types of scenarios and situations, you need more experience. You've got to play games. You've got to grind FIFA 22. Because it will give you the confidence that is necessary. And this doesn't always deal with finishing, but it can be as simple as playing out of the back, knowing when to clear the ball, not being nervous, hands aren't sweating. This isn't 8 Mile FIFA. Also repetition. FIFA is still an instinctive game in many regards, and it can be reactive. Repetition allows you to get out of difficult scenarios where you're maybe not losing too much of your mental focus because you've been there before. willingness to adjust. If it's not working, you have to commit to a different plan, different programming. And then commitment. You want better composure? You have to commit not only to the changes, not only to maybe pivoting when necessary, but going through a learning curve, a learning period, dialing in. And composure goes hand in hand with closing out games, not being nervous, having structure. I can't stress it enough, with planning. The amount of people that play FIFA without a game plan, shocking. If you expect different results or improved results or consistent results, take a break after difficult matches. And I want to make this very clear. I didn't say after a loss. But when you've been mentally drained or you've played too many games in a row, you will need breaks. Separate yourself from the game. Take a step away. I'm guilty of this in many scenarios. I might win 1-0, but it was a battle. It's a lot of possession play. I had to be mentally so strong. I needed fortitude in that matchup. My energy was depleted. That means I need to fuel up. I might need a water break, grab something to eat, get away from the screens. To win 16 out of 20, you will need to be the best you. Regardless what your natural ability looks like, what kind of squads you've put together, that you've created. I'm trying to get the best you. Maximize your potential. Finishing and converting, they go together. This is definitely a relationship, and it's one of the bigger separators between margins and skill gaps. When you play top tier players, they don't miss their 1v1s. And part of this is not only knowing what to do, when to do it, and then also being able to read a situation via that experience, via a commitment, again, to practice. Get in the arena, get into the skill games. Please watch your gameplay back. So many of you miss the same 1v1 every weekend over and over and over again. You've got to try a new way to convert. We're playing FIFA 22. How you open up your body, how you use the ball roll to go around the goalkeeper. When can you use a chip? When shouldn't you use a chip? Is there a lot of value in the chips? Do you want extra chocolate chips? Would you like some ice cream with the chips? How about some fish and chips? I might be overdoing this a tad bit, and I've made videos on finishing, and I'll make updated videos on finishing, and it's something that we talk about again with Gamers Academy every single week, is going over different lesson plans. But I'm always surprised that players don't realize their lack of conversion, and that's the separation between the wins, the losses, the draws. Micromanagement, and this is more or less defensively focused. I want to yell at you, push that agenda. This will always be the largest differentiating factor between skill levels. And micromanaging is how well you can move multiple players at one time, simultaneously. This is your team press. This is your player switching. And that's why I keep saying this in the midfield. This is on the defensive end. And the only way to get better with micromanagement is practice and playing a lot of FIFA and a commitment to defense that you might not love. But it's worth it. If you don't switch players with the right analog stick all day, every day, you have not even gotten close to where you should be with micromanagement. If you don't use the double team button, teammate contain, at all, you have not mastered or maximized your micromanagement. Unless your player switching is just on fuego. We're talking flash, superhero levels. Formations and tactics. I'm just trying to set you up for success. We go over whatever I'm using every week. The good, the bad, the ugly. What formation, what instructions, and having at least 2 to 3 formations that you're comfortable with, that you're willing to switch into. You can do this on the fly. You have your presets down packed. So many of you watching do pretty well, and you don't have the best formation for you or the best tactics for you. You just want to get on the game, play the game, leave it alone, and then maybe get on social media and complain a little bit as well. I understand, it's relatable. FIFA versus football. Mechanics versus simulation. There's so many FIFA players that are looking to apply their football mind completely while getting results and playing FIFA. That's going to get you to a certain level, but not all the way. We are still playing a video game, which means certain skill moves every year are gonna need to be implemented. Some of the baseline skills, in particular, in FIFA 22 are very effective when you're looking at fake shots or ball rolls. I love the roulette this year. Forms of expression. I mentioned time finishing, finesse shots from long distance, how to whip the ball in. You can make all these beautiful triangle passes, but if you're not using a low driven pass, which provides that extra emphasis, you can split the defense, you aren't getting your best FIFA package. The deliverables aren't quite there. Last but not least, game management. We're talking 45th, 90th, extra time, frustrating opponents, limiting key placements. Are you willing to pivot, to change game plans depending on the scoreline or the stylistic approach to playing the game? You speed it up, you slow it down. Game management does not mean holding the ball. Yes, that is a portion of game management. It's often associated with game management, but that is not the say-all be-all to game management. It's just a matter of limiting certain key moments in matchups day in and day out, or all weekend long might be a better mention here if we're looking for rank 1. And you gotta be aware, glance up at the clock, stop conceding in the 45th, stop conceding in the 90th. The best way to do so is to make sure you have that final attack. Take your time with the build-up. Worst case scenario, it goes to halftime. The game ends. Also, maybe the last 10, 15 minutes of a match, you're up a goal. What have you shifted because your opponent is gonna be more aggressive? A lot of people concede in these minutes for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm a logical guy, practical. The 45th and the 90th or even the 120th are longer portions of the game than any other moment because you have that extra period, that extra time, injury time. And number 2, your opposition is going to throw everything forward. If they're already losing, they have nothing else to lose. Who cares if you lose by 2 goals when you could have had a chance to draw even? Hear what I'm spitting, what I'm throwing down, perhaps what I'm throwing up. Seems like a good place to end off the video. Those are my 10 tips that will get you better results if you're looking to become a rank 1 player. Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts? Is this helpful? Would you like breakdowns, maybe specifically for certain sections? Because we can go into a lot more depth. This is the quick fire. Here's the summary. Take this away from the video, run it up, and we upload, as many of you know, daily. Content daily. Social media daily. Stay connected. And as always, the content is flourishing and it's coming out ASAP.